ceux du peuple qui connaîtront leur Dieu agiront avec fermeté. Alléluia. Ceux-ci s'appuient sur leurs chars, ceux-là sur leurs chevaux, moi j'invoquerai le nom de l'Éternel, mon Dieu. Ceux-ci s'appuient sur leurs chars, ceux-là sur leurs chevaux, moi j'invoquerai le nom de l'Éternel. Eux, ils plient et tombent, nous nous tenons fermes et nous restons debout. Eux, ils plient et tombent, nous nous tenons fermes et nous restons debout. Jamais. Pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans ton nom. Non, jamais, jamais. Pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans ton nom. Quand tous les peuples marcheront, chacun au nom de son Dieu, moi je marcherai au nom de l'Éternel, mon Dieu. Quand tous les peuples marcheront, chacun au nom de son Dieu, moi je marcherai au nom de l'Éternel. Eux, ils plient et tombent, nous nous tenons fermes et nous restons debout. Eux, ils plient et tombent, nous nous tenons fermes et nous restons debout. Jamais. Pas un pas sans toi, pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans toi. Non, non, jamais, jamais. Pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans ton nom. Jamais sans Jésus, pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans ton nom. Pas un pas sans toi, pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans ton nom, Jésus. Pas un pas sans toi, pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans ton nom, Jésus. Pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans ton nom, Jésus. Pas un pas sans toi, pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans ton nom, Jésus. Jamais, jamais sans Jésus. Pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans ton nom, Jésus. Pas un pas sans toi, pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas sans. Natamona ya tomoni ni soki na tomona Yesu te. Pas un pas sans Jésus, pas un pas. Nakolonga na tomoni ni soki na tomona Yesu te. Pas un pas sans Jésus, je ne ferai pas un pas si tu ne marches pas avec moi. Pas un pas sans Jésus. Comment pourrais-je avancer si tu n'avances pas avec moi? Pas un pas sans Jésus, 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 pas un pas sans Jésus.
Mama, 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 mama. Kozanga yonga na sambwe nanga. Mosika na yo finanga na pasi. Mosika na yo finanga na somo. Oh, oh. Wapio, wapio. Wapio, wapio. Posa motema nanga ezana tombola Yesu. Posa motema nanga ezana sanjola yo. E matina molimo nanga yo. Na yemba yonga. E kotina mabanzo nanga yo. Posa motema nanga ezana tombola Yesu. Posa motema nanga ezana sanjola yo. E matina molimo nanga yo. Na yemba yongai. E kotina mabanzo nanga yo. Na tombolonga abae abao abae abao igwe abobo igwe abo oh. Abenganga soba pona yo yeso dikamboche. Afinganga yuma pona yo nandima likamboche. Abenganga bolole pona yo nandima likamboche. Asiposa motema nanga ezana tombola Yesu. Posa motema nanga ezana sanjola yo. E matina molimo nanga yo. Na yemba yonga. E kotina mabanzo nanga yo. Na tomboloma abae 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 abao igwe tamboyo igwe amo igwe ye abobobo ibobobobo aba na boya yo nalinga nanyo papa. Banatika yo kona landa na nyango. Mosika na yo banguna nanga basepelyo. Mosika na yo bandokia fami basepelyo. Akozanga yo ngarasuki pardon. Oh, wapio, wapio. Kana boya koshina pona yo Yesu. Na boya mokili pona yo Yesu. Baninga batikanga pona yo Yesu. Oh, wapio, 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 yondeli zibaranga. Zibangolu nanga, Yesu zibangolu nanga, Yesu, Yesu li zibangolu, oh li zibangolu nyo. Yonde liziba ngolu nyonso Yesu. Bisika onakolinga te kokima. Bisika onatoka kakimia motema nanga. Gloire à toi l'intarissable.
Hi, how you doing? I hope you're doing amazing wherever you're finding yourself. My name is Gracia Susuzande, aka Sucre d'Or, and you have been so many to follow Étincelle during this past few months. I mean, it's been 12 months now, and Étincelle is celebrating their first anniversary. This will happen on the 24th of October 2020. Étincelle has and will always try to remain classy and VIP. I mean, the show is about bringing amazing people who have beautiful story and testimony, to be able to help you acknowledge the situation that you're going through, and finally coming out of it and see the light, at the end of the tunnel and moving forward towards your destiny. The theme of our celebration is mass sparkle. And sometimes mass struggle can be maybe, can be a little bit difficult to understand.
My name is Mikhail. I'm PT, personal trainer, professional. We really work within the community, so specifically with young people.
C'était bizarre. C'est aujourd'hui que je peux comprendre comment ça se passe actuellement.
We need you today to connect not just with your phone or anything like that, but we need you to connect with your mind.
This event will take place at Unit 23, Stadium Business Center, Northend Road, Wembley, HA9080. For more information, you can contact me on 079 46 206 506. And if you have an Instagram page and you feel like you want to DM me for more details, you can DM me on imgracia.sucredor. I also have a Facebook page where you can also contact me, and it is Gracia Sucredor with a K. If you have a Snapchat and you feel like, hey, let me snap her instead of calling or DM, you can also snap me on sucredor_d'or. So I hope to see you soon. Make sure you take care of yourself. Take care. Bye.
Good evening, welcome to Étincelle. I am your host for today, Josianne, and on my side I've got...
My name is also Daniella Bila,
a co-host, and we got herself, Gracia Susuzande. If you could just like to introduce yourself.
Of course, my name is Gracia Susuzande, host of Étincelle. And today is a special edition. And celebrating our first year of Étincelle.
Your first 1 year anniversary of Étincelle.
A whole year has gone by since you started.
Yeah, a whole year has been gone by. Indeed.
And we have decided today to do this special live show with a live background. So we've got a live audience with us today, so you might be hearing some noise here and there. And we decided to do this special live just to celebrate this magnificent journey. Doing a 1 year anniversary in any type of business is very difficult. So we just want to learn more about you. So we've got Daniella and we've got Gracia, and we're going to have a great conversation and maybe unfold the inner layers of Gracia herself.
You said we have a live background, so can we hear the audience in the background for a second? Just so you guys can understand that we are not by ourselves. girls. We have a support system with us,
Yes.
supporting the lovely Gracia.
Yes.
And we cannot wait to, like she said, unravel this whole journey that we've gone through.
Yes, and before we start the show, if I could please ask you all to share, like and subscribe to the channel. Come and support each other, support Gracia, and yes, so if we can all just share, take 2 minutes to just everybody get comfortable, share as much as possible so we can all be involved.
As well as sharing, we also, throughout this whole time, I'm sure there's going to be some questions that might be asked. So feel free to drop down a comment and a question for us to be able to ask the lovely Gracia, and so she can answer you as well.
Yes. So we will be checking the lives, the questions through the break. So we will have a break in between. So by then we will check all your questions and we will ask your questions and find out the answers. So the first bit of the live is we really just want to know a bit more about who Gracia is. Like, we see you on the show, we see you are the Apostle's assistant, she is an amazing artist herself. And we just want to discover you a bit more. So if you could just give us a background on who Grace is, where Grace comes from.
Oh, wow. That's a lot to say. Thank you so much for being the host, today. It just feels different to sit, actually, in this chair. Usually I'm always on the other side. But hey, for those who don't know me, my name is Gracia Susuzande. I am the host of Étincelle, of Hosanna. And besides that, I have many hats that I do fill in as a hairstylist, professional hairstylist, makeup as well. Within that, I'm an artist when it comes to drawing, artist when it comes to singing, artist in so many ways. Some people will say gifted.
You are
hands.
Very.
And there's so much more to say. So, just for the moment, I'll say that.
Yeah. So, what's the beginning? We want to know the beginning journey of Gracia.
Yeah.
How did it all come about?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
How did you discover all these many skills that you have?
Well, thank you for the question. I would say it's all since I was little, right? Usually it's always like age by age you grow and suddenly you discover, hey, I can do this. You discover, yeah, I can say this. And I think the very first thing I discovered I can do, it was hair.
Okay.
It was really hair, and that was since I was in Congo. Since I was 6 years old, learning on the street. With the other hairdressers, just wanted to help here and there. And from there, because obviously I couldn't really practice straight away on a grown-up person, so I used to, play on the Barbies, and I used to have lots of fun, but I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
So, because, due to my journey is a bit, up and down. At the moment, I was young, but I didn't know my mom. Right.
Okay.
No, my mom at that time. So my adoptive mom allowed me to do hair on her head. Alright, I was really little, but she was like, "No, do it. You can do it good. Just do it." So I'll be probably taking like 2 days just to finish it, but I'll be doing perfectly. And she likes, and everyone will be saying, "Hey, who did your hair?" But it was a small little girl, 6 years old, who probably just started doing this thing, and then it continue onto the drawings, knowing how to draw. But to me, it was just a passion. It was nothing less or nothing more. But for those who saw my drawings, were like, "Wow, you can really draw! Like, keep on pushing." And
so when did you actually start taking drawing serious? When did you feel like, hold on, I think I really want to be an artist?
I think it's always been there. I never asked myself whether I should do it or become very, very serious on it, because myself, I was already serious in it. Meaning, like, when I take time to draw, like, I'm not just gonna do some scratch and leave it. I'm really gonna be focusing on what I'm doing. If it needs to take me a day, I will. If a week, I will. And it continued until like college, where I did art and design, and my professor was like, "You can draw really well. Did you do that on your own?" So yeah, I did. But it had a little twist in it because I love fashion. Girl, fashion was my thing. Yeah, I just love fashion. So it was a combination of drawings and what's it called, and designing. At the same time, I was doing drama. So I had this free thing and still hairdressing in the background. When I tried to apply for the hairdressing courses, it was already too late. They closed everything. So I had to, find another course, which I'm like, no, let's just do drawing. So I went into that and trying to perfect myself within that skills and learning so much about art in so many ways, so many shades of it, and even photography. So by then, my professor approached me and said, I know you like drawing, but I think fashion is your thing. So everyone used to call me the catwalk girl because I used to come into college with some high boots and and just like walking with it like a diva. And all my professors were like, where did you get this boot? It was just this thing about me. I'll be like, just twist my feet, and I just like have so much fun. And with that, I just took it to university, and where I attended London College of Fashion.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was amazing. But the journey had to kind of like get another twist from there. So yeah, that was my journey when it comes to art.
Lots of twists, isn't it? So how was So I really want to know. So from when we speak about the beginning, I want to know because. From your shows, we've seen that you were born in the Congo and you grew up in the Congo, and then you moved to Europe eventually. So how was that transition in itself? Like because even with myself, I was born in the Congo. And I moved from Congo to Belgium. I think I was about 1 year old. So I don't really remember the lifestyle of Congo or anything like that. But how was the whole transitioning? How was the journey? First day. Where did you live in Europe?
Wow, Lord have mercy. When I moved, I came here when I was quite little. This was London, and to me it was, I didn't know that I was traveling.
Oh, you didn't know? You didn't even know you were traveling?
No, because first at the moment I didn't have my dad.
Yeah.
I didn't have my mom. And I was a bit on my own. Let's just say that. And my journey it was them ones that were sleeping on the street, looking for food, sleeping in churches. It was quite rough. Let's just say that. And I didn't know. I really didn't know. My brother left Congo since long time. So you can call me Mwana Shigi if you want to. This child.
For those who doesn't know what that means, Mwana Shigi it's like the street child or the gangster child.
Exactly. So that lifestyle, that's why I had to get myself in to survive a little bit more. And until I bumped into a friend of my dad who knew me since I was little. So from there, obviously, all the work started happening for them to, bring me, to Europe so I can finally meet my brother. So yeah, till today, I still haven't met my mom.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know how she looks like, and then I heard she's in Angola. So try my best to definitely go see her. I don't know how it's gonna be, but hey, wish me good luck. Hopefully, I'm gonna have lots of teachers, around to be able to welcome this woman who gave back to me. But the transition from there to here, like you just asked, wasn't as easy. Sorry, on my phone. So sorry, and my transition was not that easy because I had to leave something that I was calling home, right? And to coming into a country where you need to integrate yourself, start learning English, start making friends, and start trusting again and loving again and discovering yourself. And I believe that every single day has been a stepping stone for me to discover really who I am. I don't think I haven't finally, get to the point where I say, hey, I truly know myself, but the transition's still there. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you adapted quickly to the Europe background?
I would say yes, because I'm really good with languages somehow. Like I don't know, I can't really tell. But so English to me came really quick. And yeah,
So was the UK the first country that you moved to from Africa? Okay. So how was the whole? Because I remember when I first moved to the UK from Belgium, it was so confusing.
Yeah.
I could not speak English. I didn't understand what was going on, and it's just making friends. I think my first primary school was in Brixton, and I knew zero word of English. So I had to literally stay in the canteen, and everyone was laughing. I actually found myself laughing for something I didn't quite understand, but just to kind of fit in. So just that process is very difficult. Although you're young and people think because you're a young child, it's very easy to adapt. But just moving into a different country and learning new cultures and how things are being done, like, how was that for you?
It was, I mean, the first thing I noticed is the fact that in Congo, we do wear uniforms to school, right? Here they do too. So it was like, hey, they do the same thing as us. That's the thing. And then, but the speaking, because going on the bus and seeing all these children speaking English very quickly, very fast, and they're trying to catch, but it wasn't. So what I used to do is I used to sit on the TV watching Disney Channel, believe it or not, and it was.
Sorry, I think.
Oh, we're supposed to use it. Yes.
You've got yours.
I forgot. Yes. So it was the ones where I used to sit on the TV and watching Disney Channel for hours and hours, but their accent was American.
Okay.
So, but after 6 months, I used to speak English, but my English was American. So people who was like, do you come from America? And I'm like, no, I don't. But yeah, so I always had to give that excuse that I was watching a lot of TV. But yeah, that's basically it. But it was a good transition, I'll say.
Yeah, because I think that transition itself, it's just very, very hard for the beginning, just being able to adapt to the change. Definitely. But how did this affect you educational wise? Did you feel like it was harder for you to continue with your studies as you transition obviously to a new culture, a new way of education, a new categories, like new subjects maybe in classes that you didn't do?
No, coming to in London, I would say that when it comes to the studies, is not the same at all. The qualification is not valued the same way as it is in Congo and here. For you still need to reduce certain things if you have to, whether the grade that you probably achieved in Congo. So it was a lot of going backwards, let's say. But they always say that sometimes to jump better, you need to go backwards. So that thought of knowing that, hey, I'm not stopping, I'm going forward, I think it was still there in my head, and life has really shaped me to be strong in a very young age, regardless of the situation. So education at that time didn't feel like I'm how does it is like life is ending or anything like that, or contrary. Like, it was just, to me, it was like I need to learn something new, and it's for the better, it's for myself, for my own advantage. So let's do it, So I had to, give myself dirty hands a little bit. But that's basically it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, do you feel like you encouraged yourself more, like, as in like you were encouraging yourself to carry on going forward more when you first got here?
Not straight away, I say. To me, it was fascinating to see a different country, to see different people, different languages and stuff. So not at first, but I think when it started getting harder for me to let's say immigrate myself, when it comes to the people and stuff, that's when I was like, hey Grace, you can't stop here, you have to keep on pushing, keep on pushing, because the way is quite far, it's quite long, so hey, yeah.
I mean, you haven't finished your journey.
It's okay. It's still there, yes, I'm still going.
And do you feel like throughout the time, obviously everyone goes through like highs and lows, do you feel like you got to such a low that you feel like you couldn't be bothered to carry on?
No, I would not say that. I just felt like I stepped back a little bit, not that far.
for me to jump better, like I said earlier. So I didn't feel too far back, but I just felt like if it's what I'm supposed to do, then this is what I'm supposed to do. Like I didn't go to school straight away. I had to wait a little bit for a couple of months, which was a little bit boring. But apart from that, when situation got solved, then I was able to attend school and doing what I do best. I mean, in learning. I'm a people person. I've always been, and to me, going to school and learning even more was, believe it or not, really one of the best things. I love being in school and I love being at home. So that's just, it didn't really affect me that much. But just living, I'll say maybe emotionally, knowing that obviously you don't have your both parents by your side, that could be something difficult, and anyone else who don't have parents can relate to that. But apart from that, no. Yeah.
I mean, you did go far, because now it looks like you're in this place. I've heard that, aren't you Miss Africa GB second runner? Can you please tell us more about that? Because that is an amazing accomplishment. So, yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, just quickly, before we go into the aspect, I want to know what actually got you into the whole beauty pageant world itself. Because I know you've done Miss Congo, you've done Miss Africa, like, what got you going into the beauty pageant? What was it the day that you decided, actually, beauty pageant?
Thank you for the question. I would say that since I was, young, yes, but when I'm walking with my sister-in-law especially, because she was my bestie at that time anyway, but on the road I used to get stopped a lot. Like, are you a model, or this and that, like, join us in this. But at that moment, because I just came, I couldn't even get myself involved in so many other things. I had to be cautious, careful. Who are you, like, and I used to get stopped a lot. So to me, it's like they used to see something that possibly I can't see, right? And it was until I did start doing fashion, and I started doing makeup, and I started makeup when I was 18. Okay. That was like, this pencil thing. Yeah, so to me it was all natural until that age. So I started discovering myself, discovering makeup, discovering that other world that I really started loving, embracing and stuff. So fashion started getting involved and stuff. But until I believe one day, but while doing what I was still in university, I believe, a friend of mine approached me and said, Grace, have you ever considered doing pageant? Okay. Right? So I was like, no,
How old was you at the time?
I would say that I was 17.
Okay.
Yeah, like, have you ever considered to do I was called pageant, but I'm like, I don't know, that's not really for me. Like, I just left it as that. So I still continue on my fashion, continue on what I wanted to do is become a model, but not in a pageant way, like model, magazine, blah blah blah. I had a big vision for myself, right? But pageant was not in my mind at that moment. It wasn't. Obviously, moving forward, working with the children, also as a practitioner, for years, moving to, places to places, and gain some more knowledge into fashion. It still didn't clock into me like to do pageant. Pageant was not in my head until she came back again. She came back again and she said, no, seriously, you need to do pageant, like try it. And she invited me to 2017 Miss Congo, where Celine Cinder got crowned on that day. And when I attended, I saw all these people in the room, and they was just cheering for her. And then she had the codes. She was just so amazing. But not just her, but all the other contestants at that time. So I sat by myself. I sat within me, and wherever I was sitting anyway, I was just thinking, well, pageant is not actually a bad idea. Why not doing it? But at that time, I was thinking about me as me gaining a little more knowledge on myself, my part. So as I came out of the room, I said, I'm gonna do that for next year. So when the time came, I already put my, my inscription, put it through. But it was Miss Congo and Miss Africa at the same time.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know who to choose. I'm like, should I go for Miss Congo? Should I go for Miss Africa? Which one is it going to be?
So is there like a rule that applies where you can't? Because I honestly don't know how the beauty pageant world works.
Yeah.
Is there like a rule that says that you can't do both, or do you have to choose one, or can you only do the next one after a year? Like how is the time frame like?
When it comes to beauty pageant, you can only do one at a time if you win. Right. So if you do the pageant and it comes to the fact that you get the crown at the end, you can't do another one.
Oh, you can't rerun again?
No. You need to wait until your reign finishes for you to enter another one.
So how long is this reign? Like when you do
1 year.
It's 1 year. So after my reign does finish, I can now apply to
for another one,
and I could be crowned again.
Potentially, yeah. It depends, but they're not gonna be like, you can't be greedy to the point where you gotta pay. Because pageant, believe it or not, is charity. Alright, so people get confused between modeling and what's it called, and pageant, thinking it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. Pageant is all about charity, it's all about giving, it's all about having a good heart, it's all about not thinking about yourself but thinking about others. It's about looking beyond yourself, and really wanting to if you need to put put your hand into it to do something good, then that's what you need to do. That's pageant. But modeling or whatever, it's about catwalking. Yeah, you need to have a certain type, certain way, certain height, and if you don't have it, you don't go. So when I did I put myself forward for the both, I still had a doubt. Like, which one still I go for it? I went for the first interview, Miss Congo, and the manager Pauline, she saw me, we spoke, it's like we clicked in the first thing. She loves me, she's like, oh my God, don't tell anyone, but you know what, I'm putting it in. Before anyone else, so she's like, you're in. And before I leave, I was like, by the way, I need to tell you something. I also did put my invitation inscription forward for Miss Africa. And that's when she stopped and she's like, oh, choose us. She's like, choose us, I know you want to do that, but you're Congolese and you'll be so amazing. She just put all the amazing thing forward for me to choose, Miss Congo first. And I went home, I started thinking about it, and the interview on Miss Africa didn't came until February.
Okay.
Yeah, so I still had my time, and in February, that's when everything started with Miss Congo. So I decided to go for Miss Congo. Okay. It was such an amazing experience.
So how is
So how is the whole application process? What does it consist of? Like, do you have to do like a runway walk? A catwalk? Sorry, I'm not really good at these technical terms. Yeah. So you do that, and then. So what's the actual interview process?
The interview process, I would say, is like, she's gonna check how you're walking, how you walk, how you smile. But with Miss Congo, it's all about the culture. It's not about really how you walk. And what they're looking for is a community leader. If you do not have the sense of becoming a community leader within your community, then don't go for it, right? And it's all about your culture, who you are, discovering really who you are truly. Because what happened is in this century or in this generation, a lot of say if you're Congolese or if you're from another country, it's true you're in there, you live, but you really don't know who you are. You don't know really what your culture is all about. You don't know when it comes to the food, when it comes to the clothing, when it comes to the village where your mom comes from. When they ask you that question, you don't know how to answer because you don't know anything about it. And so Miss Congo is all about rediscovering you as Miss as Congolese, right? So we had some teaching, knowing a little bit of the background that Congo was a kingdom back in the day, and it was this, it was that. So it is pushing a little bit of knowing really, hey, if Gracia didn't exist, I mean the outside bit, like what is left is the core, the inside. Then can you connect yourself to it? There was so much that I've learned in Miss Congo. To me, it was not the capital thing. No, it was really about who I am as a Congolese female.
You mentioned before how Miss Congo is more like about charity. So pageants are more about charity. So have you had any like experience with charity works?
I've done charity work before. I worked at Oxfam for I think a year or 6 months. It was a great experience. To me, it was all about, like I say, experiencing something new, giving. It was not really in depth, right? I have this hall where sometimes I try my best even to understand really what is it all about, and I like to do good around me regardless of situation, and being in that pageant after knowing that, hey, I'm actually not coming for myself, because when I entered Miss Congo, it was for me. And then we start having all these courses and knowing really, you know, what are you fighting for? That was the question. What are you fighting for? Sorry.
So you mentioned about charities, and I know that you are doing a GoFundMe to help children with epilepsy, which is such a great act that you are doing. And why did you choose epilepsy itself? Like, what pushed you to choose that?
I think that is all linked with my background.
Wait. Before we go to that, I feel like we're bringing out all the juice in the first part. I want to keep these audience entertained. So what we're going to do, is we're going to have a little break, So go grab some water, go get a drink. If you want to get coffee, you want to get some tea, go do that. Get the caffeine, because we need to hear more about this lovely lady standing next to us. So please have a break, and we'll be back with Daniella for you. Thank you. See you soon.
Hi, how you doing? I hope you're doing amazing wherever you're finding yourself. My name is Josianne, aka Sucre d'Or, and you have been so many to follow Étincelle during this past few months. I mean, it's been 12 months now, and Étincelle is celebrating their first anniversary. This will happen on the 24th of October 2020. Étincelle has and will always try to remain classy and VIP. I mean, the show is about bringing amazing people who have beautiful story and testimony, to be able to help you acknowledge the situation that you're going through, and finally coming out of it and see the light, at the end of the tunnel and moving forward towards your destiny. The theme of our celebration is Mass Sparkle.
And sometimes Mass Sparkle can be maybe, can be a little bit difficult to understand.
My name is Mikhail. I'm PT, personal trainer, professional. We really work within the community. So specifically with young people.
C'était bizarre. C'est aujourd'hui que je peux comprendre comment ça se passe actuellement.
We need you today to connect not just with your phone or anything like that, but we need you to connect with your mind.
This event will take place at Unit 23, Stadium Business Centre, North End Road, Wembley, HA9080. For more information, you can contact me on 079 46 206 506. And if you have an Instagram page and you feel like you want to DM me for more details, you can DM me on imgracia.sucredor. I also have a Facebook page where you can also contact me, and it is Gracia Sucredor with a K. If you have a Snapchat and you feel like, hey, let me snap her instead of calling or DM, you can also snap me on sucredor_door. So I hope to see you soon. Make sure you take care of yourself. Take care. Bye.
Mama Kozanga yonga na sambwe nanga Mosika na yo finanga na pasi Mosika na yo finanga na somo oh Wapio Kosa mutema nanga ezana tombola Yesu Kosa mutema nanga ezana sanjola yo E matina molimo nanga yo Nayemba yonga E kotina mabanzo nanga yo Kosa mutema nanga ezana tombola Yesu Kosa mutema nanga ezana sanjola yo E matina molimo nanga yo Nayemba yongai E kotina mabanzo nanga yo Natombolonga abae abao abae abao igwe abobo igwe abo oh abenganga soba pona yo yeso dikambote afinganga yuma pona yo nandima likambote abenganga bolole pona yo nandima likambote asiposa motema nanga ezana tombola Yesu posa motema nanga ezana sanjola yo E matina molimo nanga yo Nayemba yonga E kotina mabanzo nanga yo Natomboloma abae 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 abao igwe tamboyo igwe amo igwe ye abobobo ibobobobo aba naboya yo nalingana nyo papa banatika yo kona landana nyango mosika na yo banguna nanga basepelyo mosika na yo bandoki ya fami basepelyo kozanga yo ngana suki pardon. Oh, wapio, wapio, kana boya koshina pona yo Yesu na boya mokili pona yo Yesu baninga batikanga pona yo Yesu oh, wapio, 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 yo delizi baranga, delizi bangolu nanga, yes, delizi bangolu nanga, yes, yes, delizi bangolu, oh, delizi bangolu nyonso, yes, delizi bangolu nyonso, yes, yo delizi bangolu bisika na chaka moto nanga, yo de source inspiration nanga, oh yes, oh ma abe abananga nalukuwa na motema ananga yo de nyonso naluka na bi aba yo de charme avwananga aba igwe igwe nanga igwe Debo santeribos cantaraboshe Jova Hallelujah. Yonde liziba ngolu nyonso Yesu bisika ona kolinga te kokima bisika ona toka kakimia motema nanga. Gloire à toi l'intarissable.
C'est encore un signal, je m'approche devant.
Hi, how you doing? I hope you're doing amazing wherever you're finding yourself. My name is Josianne, aka Sucre d'Or, and you have been so many.
Good evening. Welcome back to Étincelle. I am your host, Josianne, and here is my co-host, Daniella, and our main guest, the CEO of the actual show, the guest speaker, Josianne. And we are back on part 2, and I believe on part 2 we were getting to the, like my co-host would like to say, the juicy part. So we were at the part where we were asking about the GoFund for the epilepsy children back home. So we just want to know why did you choose epilepsy itself? Like, what is it that you want to highlight in regards to the actual illness itself? What is it that you want to highlight about the work that you want to do on this GoFundMe? So if you could just give us these information.
Thank you so much for the question. What I want to highlight when it comes to epilepsy, why epilepsy basically, is only because you can never talk about something when you haven't gone through it yourself, right? You cannot say, let me talk about cancer, but then probably either yourself or your mom or anyone else has gone through it. So the reason why I'm bringing it out and I'm highlighting epilepsy is because I went through it myself. And I had epilepsy for 11 to 12 years. And it's something that has impacted my life. It has shaped my life. It has given me all type of angles, and it has put me in a place where I am who I am today because of it, right? And so I didn't stay there. It's not like I still got it. I don't have it. And bear in mind, when you have epilepsy, it doesn't just disappear. epilepsy is something that stays forever and ever, but you just need to control it with medication, control it with people around you, control it, with yourself mentally, and trying to be stronger than that. And I had the grace, God has favored me, that I don't suffer from it anymore. And so why stopping there? It's like you have the cure or something. Not that you have the cure, but you got cured of something that is totally impossible. Why staying there? So to me, I just felt like there are so many children in this country who are suffering from epilepsy, mental illness. But in this country, it's like they get help. The government helps them the way or another, whatever they have seizure, give them some money, and they're always there. But bear in mind, in Congo, in Africa, there are still children who does suffer from epilepsy as well. And over there, they don't have any help. They don't really have this system where, like, right now, if they have a seizure, they can have like this free pass to go to the hospital and get checked, or just get the right help that they need. This is where it took me some time, but that was the cause I was fighting for when I entered Miss Africa. I found like that is the real reason why I'm there, and for everyone else, all the children who don't basically have the voice to stand up and speak about that. Well, I am that person. I am the voice that needs to stand up and say, hey, it's okay to have epilepsy, but you can't stay there. You know what I mean? It can either happen naturally, sometimes you're born with it, and sometimes you catch it when you're older, but don't stay there. And I'm there to try to help. And that's when God found me, is becoming involved, because I've seen too many children not being treated right because people don't understand what epilepsy is. So something that you don't understand, usually you push away, you neglect it, you treat it somehow, some way. Some children in Congo have been called witch, and have been forced to do certain things, have been burned, have just been neglected because of the fact that they have epilepsy, and those parents don't understand anything about it. It's all about the head, it's all about the...
So do you feel like we need to bring more awareness to the actual illness itself within our community? Because I think I've heard somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Congo they're related to the illness of the bird or something.
Yeah, some people they say is if I can say in Lingala, is maladandeke.
Yeah, so I've heard that in the past, and I thought that was quite harsh to describe someone's illness like that. And I think just within the Congolese community, I personally feel like people don't really know what it is. How do we support this? And with the GoFund, this is a great idea. But what is it that you will cover, or that you will bring to help, obviously, children that are suffering through this? Is the GoFund to cover, because I saw that you wrote to help with the medication, to help with clothing, to help with food? Because as you said, you grew up in Congo and you was basically on the street. So there is a possibility that there's children who have this, and like you said, people relate this to witchcraft and spiritual illnesses and stuff. And maybe these children are left out on the street with no medical help. So the details for the GoFundMe will be available on the Facebook, and it will be put into this actual live. So if everybody can please go, if it's £2, £1, £5, £10, whatever it is that you feel in your heart that you can give to support another person. And I think especially in a time like this where we are all as a unit going through a difficult time with the COVID, the pandemic, and just understanding that there is someone out there that is going through the stress that we believe we're going through, but on a regular basis, but without the luxury of, what we have, the medical care, the funds, the housing. So if everybody can please go on the link, donate something, make a difference in an individual's life, and
No, definitely, you're absolutely right. We don't know what someone else is going through at this present moment. I'm in contact with a charity presently at the moment in Congo, and I even spoke to another charity here in London. It's called Epilepsy Research, right? So, but and we spoke a little bit how I can help, how I can get involved as Miss Africa GB second princess. But also my vision is not just really here, but it's more back home, where they truly need it, you know. And if I can go even further up to be able to touch the, you know, the minister of health, you know, be able to, you know, get him involved in this matter. So yeah.
So yeah, so now, as I promised most of you guys, I will be going through your questions, and I see we've got quite a few questions on here. We've got a question from François Dieudonné, sorry, apologize. So his first question is, he wants to know, how did you discover yourself, and how did you discover your passion, and if you have any words of encouragement for our youth on how they can try and discover their passion.
Oh wow, that's a very good question. How I have discovered myself, I think the very good thing to do is to take time for yourself. The world is busy. The world, there's so many things going on, from young, growing, and you keep on pushing further. There's too many stuff. If you keep on focusing on them, you'll never know really who you are. Right? You'll never know where you're gifted at. You never know really how what you have within you. You know, someone told me one day, if you take both of your hands and you close your ear, you actually can hear your heart.
Because I was just about to say, it's a bit hard to focus when there's so much background noise.
Exactly. So take time to focus on you, and I believe 2020 has teach us really in a rough way, very rough way, where they really put us in places where you call home. But then again, it's all about, once again, discovering who you are. And anyone or everyone can take it, even a good way, even a bad way, but it was all about, you know, checking yourself and what is it really you have that you can push further up. That's how I discovered myself, by starting to loving myself. And it's not always easy to love yourself. You should always love other people first, but you don't focus on you. You don't have that self-love. Self-love, I had to be so hard on myself to say, Chris, start loving yourself now. Put yourself first now. And it was a bit hard, but I had to do it so I can start really putting myself first and loving me and being healthy and pushing further. That's how you can start, you know, get to know really who you are. And the word of encouragement is never stop. You only stop or give up when you'll be able to call it out. Someone will probably call you a loser then when you stop. But the more you keep on pushing and you keep on grinding, you're still a winner, and it can be okay. Yeah.
So now, moving into the final part, and the reason to why we are even celebrating an anniversary itself. So this time last year, you took the time to start your own TV show, which honestly is such a huge thing to do. It may not seem very big because there's so many people doing their own channels, their own thing, but to actually reach a year where you're actually working in and out, and obviously people only see the live itself. Yes. People don't really know the hard work that happens in the background, getting everything together. And just speak to us about the journey of It Done Said itself. How did it come to life? What was the inspiration behind it?
Oh wow, how it came alive. It Done Said. To me, it was just like a sparkle in my head, honestly. I was working somewhere else as a TV presenter, for those who knows. And then I just had to take some time off myself. And at the present moment, I'm working with someone who is really amazing, and she pushes me as much as she can, and she's my mentor. Her name is Apostle Miley Mundiai. And when I took some time off, and she said, "Wow, you can't stop there. Like, what happened next? You know?" And yes, I had the idea to start something on my own, but like, I don't know. The name was not there. I didn't know. So we sat down, me and her, in her office, and we're like, yeah, you should definitely do. She has been, she will, she always does that. She pushes me further, and we took a book and we start writing. What should be the name? What the name should be for your show? You know, we have a studio upstairs. You can definitely have your platform, and we need to do this. You know, and the name didn't come at first. One day I was just doing her hair, and then boom, it just appeared in my head. I was like, étincelle. Étincelle. Why étincelle? Well, étincelle.
Can you just tell us
exactly what étincelle actually means? So like the background of the actual word, like what does it mean to you? What does it mean actually?
The word étincelle means sparkle. Okay. Sparkle is all about what you can say, you know, those little lights that you see appearing, whether it's in the sky or whether it's just maybe on the table, wherever it is. But my thoughts when it comes to sparkle is I feel like the world needs more knowledge, right? Knowledge in so many ways. Even the Lord does teach us to have more knowledge. Without knowledge, we do perish. So the light that I wanted to bring, or the étincelle, the sparkle, I didn't want it to be like any other show. I wanted for it to be just different, you know, with a little bit of secret that I am, with a little bubbliness that I am, with, you know, all this person that I am, that I wanted the show to be just different, but bring knowledge. And this is where someone that who's my mentor always say, no, Chrissy, you cannot go on the show without research. Go and do some research. Don't just chat for no reason. Someone needs to see the intellect in you. So I do take some time of research, knowing what to say, how to bring the message, and she's been there as my guide.
So the other thing I also want to know is how do I form this question? What's the vision of your show? What is it? Like, for example, if I had a show, my vision or my purpose of the show would be to impact the youth and gain knowledge and to, you know, maybe bring awareness to my country, bring awareness to politics, whatever the show was about. What is the purpose or the goal of this show? What is it that you want to obtain from having your own show and, you know, speaking to, because your show is, you affect a lot of people across the world. It's not just the UK that follows you. It's not just Europe that watches your show. There's people back in Africa that's on the show. What is it that you want your show to reach?
What I want my show to scream out loud is that you can come from somewhere and go somewhere. That nothing is really impossible to someone who truly believes that it's going to be okay. Right? Many fails, many doubt themselves because they don't believe. But you can truly, from someone who probably is in the street, and there's so many millionaire, billionaire out there who probably didn't study. They were from the street, and today they are this big person that we know. So it is possible to come from somewhere and go somewhere. But my show is also about you acknowledging really where you're finding yourself in this blurry, difficult time. Hey, we're all human. The thing is that we go through situation, problems. And the thing is somehow always similar to your neighbor. It's never really that different. It's all maybe like, oh, you are my Chris and she is Daniella. But at the end, there's always the similarity within that. And if you can acknowledge that I have an issue, I'm in this blurry, dark place, and that is this light, this étincelle that is coming towards you, then grab it and finally come out of it. Many, what they do is like, they listen, but they don't put in practice. That's the truth. And my show is not about you just listening and then say, hey, yeah, I support the praise you. But it's all about you listening and put in practice all the things that I spoke about, because I take time to pray on it and to search. So, yeah.
Like my co-host says, like, obviously... Sorry, not my co-host. Sorry, man. Sorry. Also, you are my co-host, yeah. Like my co-host said. There is a lot that goes on in the background of a show, right? So obviously not everyone can see that there can be a lot of challenges that can happen. You know, like you said, it was really hard to even come up with the name of the whole show. And so, do you feel like maybe having the show like put a lot of strain maybe on yourself? Maybe was it too hard at one point? Did it, you know, you're mentally, obviously physically you look good, like you're beautiful and everything, but mentally, how did it affect you?
I'll say that it's true. It's not easy. It's not just that you take a piece of paper, you sit down, you start speaking. There's so many people who just sit in that and then they're looking at the camera, but they're just starting. You know, they can't seem to even speak. Nothing's coming out of their mouth. But yes, a lot of stress because I don't want you to speak for speaking. Me and you can speak right now for hours. I can call you, hey Josianne, let's chat. You know, how was your day? But I just wanted to bring more than just talk, more than just words, all right? Going on experiences, and it's not just myself, because on the show there's certain topics that I cannot touch. For example, I'm not married yet, right? So I'm not going to talk about marriage, but I'll probably bring a beautiful people who have a beautiful testimony, who have a beautiful soul to be able to impact you or anyone else around the world that is probably finding himself in that situation. You want to talk about divorce? I'm not divorced. Why should I talk about it? But let me bring someone that can probably edify you, someone that can probably speak to your soul. And maybe you'll find yourself in a place where you need an answer, but that sparkle, hey, it comes in to be able to lighten you. That was my motivation, and this is why, regardless, even if it was difficult, sometimes I sit 3 a.m. in the morning up there, and I'm just still writing, and I'm calling Apostle, what do you think about this word? Like, how can I say this? Because she's my G, so I mean, she's my G, and I'll call her and say, you know, like, I need to do this, I need to do that, how should I direct it? And she has something that is above me, more knowledge, and I inspire myself from her to be able to deliver something that not just one person will hear or listen, but the whole world, like you said yourself. Yeah.
And the last question, as we are going towards the end of the show. So the last question is, obviously with the time that we are living right now, time of uncertainty, a difficult moment, the difficult time that we are all going through. And the one thing that I definitely know is you kept pushing throughout the pandemic, even when things were very difficult. Because I know so many people at the beginning of this pandemic, it was like, the world's coming into an end. I don't think I need to do this anymore. So many people gave up on so many dreams that they had for this summer and things like that. So I just want to know what kept you motivated to keep pushing throughout this difficult time.
As well as that, where do you see ETSA going
in
the future? Like,
so how did you get through this pandemic and continue to push, continue to put some lives, continue to entertain people and keep people smiling? You know, during this pandemic, we've had some very intense show where we spoke about our personal life. We spoke about, I feel like we peeled like an orange, like we peeled so many layers of ourselves throughout this time, discovered ourselves, and it was a very difficult time. So I just want to know what kept you going and what do we have to wait for the future of Intercell?
Thank you for this question. I will say the first thing that kept me going, believe it or not, is prayer.
Amen.
Amen.
Prayer. Some people don't believe in it. I do. To me, it's a way to communicate with my God, and this has been sort of like a pillar, you know, to keep on praying, keep on communicating with the person who's giving me life, person who's giving me the breath. I always say the Zoe within me, and if it wasn't for him, then I would not be here. So prayer. Many people, many pastors has prophesied and say that this is the year of success. This is the year of I don't know what. But as my mentor said, and I remember at the beginning of the year, she said, this is the year of prayer. Prayer. And within prayer, then if you keep on persevering, if you keep on pushing, then you will get to where you're supposed to be because of prayer. The next thing will be passion. If you don't have passion, regardless what you do, you will never go further. You will never go anywhere, because as soon as you start, you will crumble, and probably you will stand up again. But still, if it's not there, if it's not the main thing within that, you will not go further. So passion has been there to be able to sit on that chair, get the camera. Passion in writing, passion in knowing what is the new monthly subject, passion in people, passion in wanting to bring not a solution, probably yes, bringing the light into someone's life. And what kept me going is within Etancelle, I do not work on my own, right? People do see only Gracie in front of the chair and she's speaking and so, but I have a team behind me. Right? In anyone that has an empire cannot run it on its own. You can't run an empire on your own. But you always have workers, people who gives you probably some tips, who give you this, Grace, I'll try this. No, wear this today. Hey, no, try this hairstyle today. And and I have an amazing team. I have Gorali Chunka behind me. I have Patrick Chunka behind me. I have Christopher Chunka behind me. I even have, Apostle Maylene Mutiai behind me, whereby apart from this four, I have my church behind me, who watches my show, who shares my show, who supports me with words, with cash, with whatever it is that I need to be able to keep on pushing in that show. So to me, it's all these elements, and besides that, it's also love. Love is what keeps me.
Love.
So we finally got to know Gracia. We finally got to understand where Etancelle came from, honestly. And we honestly want to thank you so much for this time that you've been able to give us. Thank you for everything that you've been able to provide, the information that you mentioned, etc. Because I enjoyed it. Did the audience enjoy it behind me? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who was connected. Thank you for being a part of this. Yes, of course you can.
Because you mentioned something. You said, "Where do you see Etancelle?"
Yeah.
That's something that I didn't cover. Where I see Etancelle is worldwide.
Right.
In London or anything, if there's going to be franchise anywhere else around the world, Etancelle will go forward as long as I have, a team and I have my God with me, and that's basically that's why I see it.
And apart from Etancelle, we also have her beautiful artwork as well. You told us you're an artist.
Yes.
And there's some people that can't draw. I can't draw a face. I find it amazing for somebody to look at a picture and replicate it with a pencil and eraser. Because of course you have to erase that, right there, So, honestly, how did you inspire yourself to actually even get there? To start drawing, to draw pictures and etc. and other landscapes and etc. Yeah.
I think it's all about start with a passion first, and then there's also work. You can have passion, but if you don't put in work, you won't see it physically. It's always probably gonna stay in your mind, right? You're dreaming about it, you're sitting, you're dreaming. But actually, if you put it into work, you will see the result of what you are thinking. So I think when it comes to my paintings, my drawings, I had to put work in it, but also I had to put knowledge into it, meaning that I had to go to school to add a little bit more of what I already know. Sometimes my teacher used to ask me, well, how did you do that? He's my teacher. Why he's asking me how I did it? Yeah. So, but the same things that he would say, probably I will take it in, take everything in, and work. What you see in a room when it comes to black and white, when it comes to graffiti, when it comes to stencils, when it comes to life drawings, all that was work, and I feel like I know it will not stop here. It will keep on pushing. That is something that, like I said, it's a passion, and I'm vision. Yeah, the vision of far. Apart from that, I wanted also to mention that I had the most amazing, what's it called? Amazing opportunity to be able to be featured in an amazing magazine, right? And that is part of something that I have done in my journey of Miss Africa, and to be next to the Madame Denise, the president's wife, was just an amazing opportunity. So apart from that, I do have also, if I can mention it quickly, and this is also Femme Vertueuse, is a magazine that is coming into in France, and I am literally at the page of it. So these are like amazing achievements that it just started. It's not over yet. You will hear more about me, not just something personal.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing to be with your life journey. It's honestly been amazing to find out. And you at home, I hope as well, you've been truly educated about this lovely sucre d'or here. And we just like to, again, thank you for giving us all the inspiration that put you to practice. Like you said, all the words that you said, I will never forget. Have the inspiration. If you have the passion for something, you have to carry on going, etc. It's words that carry on motivating one person to another, to a whole generation, to society, etc. So thank you again for that.
It was my pleasure.
Once again, guys, please do not forget to go check out the fundraising, GoFundMe. Don't forget to do your part, play your part in society, help each other, And thank you so much for everyone for connecting. Thank you for our guest speaker. Thank you for the co-hosts. You have all been amazing, including the background. Amazing. I really hope you all have an amazing Saturday. I hope this was really an enlightenment for each one of you, for all those who were struggling on finding their purpose, or struggling on finding the direction to go to. I really hope that this show has truly helped you out. So thank you everyone for being part of the show.
Thank you so much.
And make sure you stay tuned to season 2 of Étincelle.
Let's go.
More to come.
Kozanga yonga na sambwe nanga Mosika na yo finanga na pasi Mosika na yo finanga na somo Wapio Posa mutema nanga ezana tombola Yesu ekoti na molimo na ngai yo nayemba yonga ekoti na mabanzo na ngai yo posa motema na nga eza na tombola Yesu posa motema na nga eza na sanjola yo emati na molimo na ngai yo nayemba yo ngai ekoti na mabanzo na ngai yo natombolonga abae abao abae abao igwe mabobo igwe mabo Soba pona yo yeso ikamboche afinga ngayuma pona yo nandima likamboche abenga ngabolole pona yo nandima likamboche asiposa motema nanga ezana tombola Yesu posa motema nanga ezana sanjola yo ematina molimo na ngai yo nayemba yo nga ekoti na mabanzo na ngai yo natomboloma abae 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 abao igwe tamboyo igwe mamo igwe ye abobobo ibobobobo Mosikana yo banguna nanga basepelyo Mosikana yo bandoki ya fami basepelyo Akozanga yo ngarasuki pardon Oh wapio wapio Bana boya koshina pona yo Yesu Boya mokili pona yo Yesu baninga batikanga pona yo Yesu oh wapio 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 yo delisi baranga Hallelujah. Yondelisi bangolu nyonso Yesu. Bisika ona kolinga te kokima. Bisika ona toka kakimia motema nanga. Gloire à toi l'intarissable.